Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube variety channel, Miss Linda C. Jones. Today is the actual day of my birthday. And for those of you who know me well, and even those who do not, yes, I'm one of those birthday month girls. I love, 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 love celebrating my birthday. I love celebrating your birthday with you as well, because I think that the day of our birth is very, very important. I'm scanning around the table to my annual birthday display, and I am taking in the beautiful candles that smell of pumpkin spice. And I'm thanking God for all of my abundant blessings and the great times I've had with my friends and family thus far. So much gratitude to all of you for remembering my birthday. I am truly, truly, truly grateful. So I wanted to do part 2 today of my process. I wanted to do part 2 of my creative process. So, part 2 of the creative process for Birthday Blues, my first original composition. I'm going to dive just a little bit deeper into this before I go on to other videos breaking down the creative process for those videos. But I would say number 1, personally, my creative process comes from totally being inspired, and I feel that personally my best work comes from the organic nature of the occurrence of me being totally overwhelmed and filled with so much intensity and so much emotion that literally I have no choice but to take the song to paper, to the keyboard, to write it, to sing it, to play it, to record it, until I'm in a position to record it professionally as well as perform it. That would be the embodiment of me, Miss Linda C. Jones, as a performer and as a writer. That would be the embodiment of my process. But for all of you creators out there, and as has been pointed out in a previous interview by a dear friend of mine, God created us to be creators. So we are creators, and we were made to create. And so as an artist who creates on a regular basis, I want to say to you that whatever it is that is your process, it is, in fact, your process. And I would say that it's all good. Remember when the teacher would say to you, there's no wrong answer? So I would say to you, there's no wrong answer. Your process is your process. So I hope that that makes sense. I'm sure that it does. So in the case of our awesome artists out there that feel like they sit at the piano or the guitar, they sit with the piano, the guitar, or whatever instrument, or the easel and the blank canvas, and they begin to paint or sing or play music or sculpt or whatever your form of art happens to be. And the process comes from not thinking too much about it and just doing it. I would say phenomenal. That's great too. That is a way in which you can obtain your inspiration. So, first on the list, one way or the other, whether it comes that way through just beginning to do something and it occurs somewhere within your psyche, whether you realize it or not, in my opinion, there is inspiration coming from somewhere. Or if you're overwhelmed, as I am, and I mean overwhelmed in a good way, overtaken, and the intensity of your emotion is so incredibly strong that you have no choice but to create, that's great too. So, and that would be the embodiment of my process. Not to say that I have not sat with my keyboard or a pen and paper or a recorder and started singing melodies and jotting down chords or lyrics, or all of the above at the same time. It happens as it happens. That has occurred for me as well. But I think that for any new creators out there, for any artist out there who's beginning to create their own art, for any of you that are out there doing it, I would say just keep in mind your process is your process, and it's all good. And whether the inspiration happens without your knowing it, and you sit at the keyboard, or the blank slate, so to speak, or you start singing, the melodies are in your head, whatever it may be, your process is your process. There is no wrong answer. So there's that. I think being the intense person that I am, that was pointed out to me by the incense man, that's a whole other story. And when I get to breaking down that song and my creative process for that, that may be a part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because you want to talk about intensity. That in and of itself is an intense song. It's blues, it's rock, it's psychedelic. But he's right, I am incredibly intense. Although, sometimes, well, I'll get into more of that later. But yes, I am intense. I am very intense. And hey, that's all good, right? Because God created us differently. So just remember that in the creative process, first, the inspiration has to be there some sort of way, whether it comes first, or second, whether it comes by the act of doing, and then inspiration that's buried in the psyche of your mind, the windmills of your mind, so to speak, and it comes forth by just doing it. In my personal opinion, I think that it's deep down within anyway, even if you may not think that it is. I think it is, because I think that the inspiration is just such a poignant part of the process. Okay, so for me, number one, most organically, my inspiration comes by incredible feelings of things I've experienced. And I would say in an outline of that being a Roman numeral 1, and if I'm putting, a letter A underneath that, I would say inspiration. Then I would say organic, or organically. And then if I'm putting numbers under there, I would say number 1, overwhelming emotion and feeling that's there. And then it would follow by, it comes from the feelings of a human being that I've interacted with, and or atmosphere, i.e. something new to go see, to drive away and get away and see beautiful scenery, either away or in your own hometown. In my beautiful historic hometown of New Orleans, Louisiana, there is plenty of that. But even with that, sometimes we need a sojourn, we need a getaway to inspire us, and creativity and inspiration can come from that. And I guess my little side note addendum to all of that would be that sometimes when we have a creative block, we may be in the middle of an artistic creation, whether it be a song, a sculpture, a painting, an instrumental piece, and on and on and on, whatever it is that we're creating. We may be in the middle of it, or we may even have 75% of it done. And then all of a sudden, bam, a creative block occurs. And we're like, wow, I love what I have here. I know that I have something. I just can't finish it. And one of my biggest recommendations for how to free up that block, how to complete that piece of art, is to get away, whether it's something different that you haven't seen a lot, or maybe have never seen in your own hometown, or a 20-minute drive, a 45-minute drive, some kind of getaway, even if it's a one-day getaway. That sojourn, that getaway can literally help you get your groove back and help you to complete what it is that you're working on. Now, when I wrote Birthday Blues, and I was co-writing it with my friend Christopher Holmes, on that particular piece, he helped with the melody. I had the melody, but he did a lot of, I would say, conjunction work with me on that, because we were literally doing it in real time and realized that we were doing it in the middle of it, which is what made it so cool. And if you want to hear more about that story, a couple of videos ago, the organic inspiration as that song was written in real time is in part one of how the Birthday Blues song was written. But in Birthday Blues, what was so exciting about that was that it allowed me to become fully present and fully aware of the fact that I had had all of this in me for a very long time. And I had already been performing music professionally forever. I had been writing down song lyrics and just recording melodies with my own little mini recorder. But when that magical moment happened at that birthday extravaganza party, that set me on the path to the completion of writing, recording, and performing my original music. So there you have it. And writing the Birthday Blues and sharing just how much my birthday means to me, as well as celebrating other family and friends, other loved ones' birthdays, that poignant experience, that real-time experience, literally just drew all of that out of me. And I find that to be so amazingly cool, because it's an example of that. And so I would go back and say, just to dig a little bit deeper, to delve a little bit deeper into my creative process in general and my creative process for writing Birthday Blues. As I said, I shared a lot with you in the previous video about the inspiration. I would say that if you are at that beginning stage and you haven't begun to write any of your music or sculpt any of your own sculptures or paint any of your own paintings or whatever the artistic expression may be, if you have not begun to solidify yours by fully bringing the creation to its fruition, I would say if you're looking for a place to start, think of that which really inspires you. And if you're having a creative block in terms of getting inspired, take some time on a day off, etc., to enjoy and relax and take in the beautiful scenery and environment around you. So happy birthday to all November birthdays. Thank you so much. Peace out. And God bless to each and every one of you. I am truly, truly, truly so incredibly grateful. You know what? I think I have just a little bit of a PS for this. I think I'm going to give you a little bit of a postscript. On this, my birthday, I'm going to read one of my birthday cards to you, and I guess this just kind of sums it up. On your special day, try to imagine how priceless you are to the God who created every amazing detail of who you are for His special purpose. For we are His workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared ahead of time for us to do. And the scripture notation for that is Ephesians 2:10. And then the other part of the card says, celebrating you and all the ways God makes the world delightfully better through the gift of you. Happy birthday. So to my dear friend who sent me that card that arrived today on my birthday, thank you so, 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 so much. Again, those of you that know me well, I'll probably continue celebrating. But again, much gratitude to all of you. It's not over yet. You know what I say, celebrate all year, all month long, all year long, and remember that you are special. And I guess that's all. So I will now bring this video to a close. Peace out, God bless, and happy birthday. Bye.